friends, good morning. Welcome back. If this is your first time stopping by my channel, welcome. If you haven't already done so, please hit the subscribe button. I'd love to have you as a subby friend. So this morning we're going to leave the craft room because I'm going to bring to you 4 fun DIYs that I have used in my bedroom. So we're gonna head that way. Listen, if you like the video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already done so, please hit the subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it, and I'd love to have you as a subby friend. So we're gonna bring 4 just real easy farmhouse DIYs. So we've got the tray here, on top of it, the flowers. So the hardest part in these DIYs will be the flowers, just for the fact that there is epoxy on the bottom for the water look and to hold them in place. And then from there, our next DIYs, we're going to do these fun farmhouse jars here that I have on my vanity, and as well as this hand sanitizer. So if you're interested in any of these DIYs, then please stay tuned. The video is gonna follow. And thank you so much again. I hope you have a beautiful and blessed rest of the day. And please, if you like the video, give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already done so, please hit the subscribe button. Thanks. Bye. All right, so for this first one, we're gonna do a farmhouse tray. Now, I'm using a tray that I got on sale at Walmart for $5. It's a metal tray, but it's very light, so it's easy to use with this candlestick. Now, if my tray was a little bit heavier, I could always use a base, such as the glass round cutting board, to help make it a little bit more sturdy if need be. So you can use any tray that you'd like for this, because I do realize you may not find this particular tray on sale at Walmart. So you can additionally use the pizza pan from the Dollar Tree. Would make a really nice tray for this. That was actually what I was going to use until I happened upon this tray. So good option to be able to get all your supplies from the Dollar Tree. Now this candle stick holder I did get from the Dollar Tree as well. And again, you can use any candlestick that you like. You may find something amazing on sale that you want to use, or again, you can pick up one of the many that they have available at the Dollar Tree. So really, I just go in and I'm going to mark my spot where I'm going to glue my candlestick on. So I suggest using a combination of glue, so a stronger bond glue such as the E6000, which is what I'm using, and then I also use hot glue. So the E6000 will hold it in place permanently. The hot glue will hold it in place temporarily, because the E6000 does take a little bit of time to dry. So next I'm going to cover it with my chalk paint. So I am using a pink chalk paint because that's the color that goes with my decor. Now this is Ballet Slipper from Waverly. You can use any chalk paint that you want in whatever color that suits you. Additionally, what I showed you is this rose gold gel paint. I had bought it on sale at Michael's, and I'm going to use it to go over top of the entire thing and then wipe it off to help with the distress look. You can use wax for this. You could use shoe polish. You can get shoe polish from Dollar Tree, also works fantastic. Or you can take paint and you can water that paint down. Paint and water 50-50, put it on and then wipe it off, and it will also do this distress look. Additionally, I use some black paint to just go in and do some distressing as well, and then I'll take sandpaper over top of that and just sand out some of it to also distress. Now you can additionally use some black shoe polish for this, or you can use, at the Dollar Tree they sell black ink containers for like stamping, and I've also used the ink container and just taken it and pressed it against the areas that I want to distress. That works great as well. So go through, use your sandpaper, and then distress it a little bit. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to paint this gold, rose gold, over top of it. You can see I'm not worried about it being super neat because I am going to be wiping it off. Now, if you use a technique like this, do parts at a time and then wipe it off, because you do want to still be able to wipe it while it's wet. You want the color to just settle in like crevices to give that distressed look. Then I'll do the sides, and I would use a lint-free type of cloth for this. And then you're just going to go through and wipe it off so that you just have, again, some remnants left over in like cracks and crevices, you know, just a touch of the color to help with the distressed look. I really like this rose gold, so I was thinking you could also recreate this with just a shimmery rose gold paint from like Walmart mixed with some water. I bought this particular paint. I got it on sale at Michael's for $3.47. But I do think that it's originally like $10. So, but if you don't have that paint or want to buy it, you can certainly recreate something very similar to do a distressing with. So I'm going to go over the entire tray with this, wipe it the rest of the way off, and then I am going to just let it dry and it'll be done. Now this tray does have some nice handles on it. If you use something like the pizza pan, you can certainly buy some handles, anything that you'd like, and glue them on with your E6000, or you can go without handles, whichever you'd like. So this is just, you know, really to maybe, you know, give you some options and some inspiration if you need a nice tray to go with your farmhouse decor. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope that maybe it was helpful to you. I really like this tray. I think it turned out great, and I love it in my bedroom. Okay, so for the next DIY, I'm going to use these 3 canisters from Dollar Tree. These are really cute glass canisters. Now the tops on them are not airtight, so please don't use them with anything that you need an airtight seal, because that product will go stale. So something non-perishable. Now these containers I was showing you, they have a little space where you can put a label. However, I chose not to use those. Now a tip here that I did want to show, for my paint brushes, what I do, if I have any paint left over, or I have a paintbrush that is not the foam's not really tore up yet, or it's a better paintbrush with paint on it, I put them in a Ziploc bag and put them in my refrigerator. I have paintbrushes that have been in there for a year, and it keeps them nice. It keeps you from wasting your paint. And I put each different color in a different Ziploc bag. So now I'm just going through, I'm using the Waverly White chalk paint to cover the tops of these. And actually I had enough paint on my paintbrush that I didn't even have to dip back into my paint supply for it. I just went in and dabbed all over it. Again, you know, not trying to have a perfect brush stroke because I like, you know, some of the metal from it to show. And also this is going to be a real farmhouse type of look. And also chalk paint is just super forgiving. So I'm going to do all three of these and then let them dry. They do dry rather quickly. One of the nice things also with chalk paint. So here I'm just finishing up painting the tops. You can see those tops are very light. It's just sliding all over the place when I'm trying to dab some paint on it. They're definitely flimsy tops, but they do the job. Again, I would only store non-perishable items in there though. I would not put anything in there that could be perishable. All right, so now I have my tops dry. And I'm just going to go through and do some distressing on them. So initially, I was going to use my wax on here, but I decided that I would use shoe polish to show you that you can do that instead. So first I'm going to take a little bit of sandpaper. I'm just sanding down on some edges, just edges where it would normally wear down if you were just, you know, having normal use of these tops. So this is my shoe polish kit that I got from the Dollar Tree. It has a light and a dark in it. Now the light is very light. I only use that if I really don't want much of a stain, and then the dark I use for more of a distressing. So I just wanted to show you that you can use the shoe polish. It works very nicely. And then sometimes when I use the dark, I'll go back over with the light because the light is actually a little bit softer of a wax, and it's good to help move the black around when you need there. All right, so we're just going to do this distressing to all of our tops. So going in with our black shoe polish and then taking the light color over top of it, just again, because it's softer and helps the black move a little bit better. And after I get all of these done, I am going to go in and take my black shoe polish and just put a little extra on the edges to make it look, you know, a little bit more kind of worn down, that farmhouse style look. And you could do that with your shoe polish. You could do that with black paint, whatever it is that you want to use to do your distressing. This really is just to show you some different options. And, you know, doing some budget-friendly DIYs, it's nice to know that you can get this shoe polish from the Dollar Tree and have some options for doing your distressing. And then also, the Dollar Tree carries ink pads, which also work really well for doing distressing. I take the pad and put it right up on the edge itself. Now, I did go in with my wax because I had gotten this wax on clearance at Walmart for $6, and I wanted to sort of see how it looked. So I just put a little bit on, but since I put some on one, I put it on all of them. But it really didn't change the way it looked. I was just trying to see what the color looks like. So now that I'm done distressing my tops, I'm going to go in and put the decal labels on my containers. Now you can see on one side of the container there is a spot for, it's like a etched in decal label on these jars, which is super cute. However, I wanted my font to be larger than that, so I'm actually putting my decal on the opposite side of the jar. The font that I used is called Lemonade Bold, and it's from Cricut Access. So when I made my words, I went in and I unlocked it, and I just pulled my font down a little bit longer than what it otherwise would have been. That was just the look that I was going for. And then you put my decals on all of my jars, and I'm using a Cricut black foil vinyl. Again, that was just what I was going for the look. You can use any type of vinyl that you want, and if you don't have a cutting machine, by all means use some of the gorgeous lettering that they sell at the Dollar Tree. You can also get lettering at Walmart, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, but the Dollar Tree really does have some really nice looking lettering these days that does a great job. All right, so I'm all done, put my tops on, and these are a super cute, easy, fun farmhouse DIY. You can use these containers anywhere. However, again, I personally would only use them for things that are non-perishable. All right, so now we're going to get into our third DIY. Now, this one I do think is probably the most challenging, and only because there is epoxy used in this. So I use a 2-part epoxy. It's 1-to-1, and I mix it and put some at the bottom of it to make the water. I have tried to think about if there were anything else that you could use in place of this, and they do have like a flour gel. Sometimes that flour gel looks like comes in like a beaded form, but they do have a flour gel, and they sell it at the Dollar Tree. They do have white. I don't think it would be quite as nice personally, but it would definitely work, and you can use that if you'd like. So now the flowers that I'm using for this, I did get them at IKEA. I saw them. They were such a pretty little bunch of flowers. I love them. However, again, you can get these at the Dollar Tree. I think that this is still very affordable. These were like $4 for this beautiful little bouquet. And the glass container that I'm going to be using comes from the Dollar Tree. So again, you can get all your supplies at the Dollar Tree if you would like to. Now, I'm sorry I stepped away for a second. I forgot my masking tape, and that's what I am in the process of getting. And I'm also going to use some green floral tape on the edges of these, because even though this was a short bunch, it was still just a little bit higher than what I wanted it to be. So I did go in and cut it a bit. So I'm sorry, apparently I forgot also my twine. I wasn't very prepared. I am so sorry. So the glass container I got at the Dollar Tree. You can use any type of glass container or vase that you'd like to do, and it will work out nicely. So this cord, I was initially going to put the jute twine around my flowers. However, it was a little thicker than I wanted, even when I cut a piece off and untwisted it. So instead, I decided to use this cotton twine. I love this stuff. So this also comes from the Dollar Tree. I hope you have it in your Dollar Tree because this stuff is just beautiful. Now, the little wrapper that IKEA has wrapped around these flowers to hold them in place is a little more sturdy than I expected. I had to actually get in there to cut it. So, but I cut that off. Now, if you're using a Dollar Tree stem, you won't have this on there. And you can just use your cord and wrap it around. Now, you can certainly use like some jute twine as well. But mine was just a little thick for that. However, I do like how this cotton cord came out. So I'm just going to go around my flowers. If I could do it without getting it stuck in my flowers. But I'm just going to go around and, you know, give that look of the twine holding the flowers in place. And then when I cut off the piece of cotton cord, instead of gluing it in, I'm just going to take the little tail end and hang it down over my stem. And then I will use my green floral tape to hold it in place. That way I don't have to have an extra dab of hot glue anywhere. So I'm just going to go in with my green floral tape and tape it up all the way around. All right, so I'm finishing up putting the floral tape around the stems. And then I decided to just take a small piece of the jute twine and put it in the center in like, not really a bow, kind of like a half bow kind of thing. You know, I don't even know how to explain it, but I'm a terrible bow tire. So I just did like this little half bow just to give that darker jute twine look in there as well. Now I took my twine and I spun it and took it into pieces. Now this particular jute twine came from Walmart. I bought a big thing of it. It was a good deal. You can certainly get this at the Dollar Tree. It's just that it's in, you know, smaller rolls, but you can definitely get it there. All right, so I'm just going in and pressing down my green floral tape, making sure that it's stuck on there really well. Because sometimes the Dollar Tree floral tape, you just got to really press it hard. All right, so now I'm going to go in with my masking tape. So what I'm doing here is I just want to make it so that my flowers stand up in the middle. So I take and kind of make a cross through the middle so that I have an idea of my center. And I'm going to go in and cut that center out. But first I'm going to put some tape around the edges of that so that my center is not lost. And once I get a space that will hold my flowers up, then I'll put my flowers in, make sure that I feel happy with how they're sitting, and then I'll make my epoxy. All right, so I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to get my epoxy together. Okay, so now I have my two-part epoxy mixed. With epoxy, you really just want to follow the directions on it. I do tumblers, that's why I have epoxy available. You can buy a small amount of it, or again, like I said, you could use the gel flower filler from the Dollar Tree. I like how this looks with the epoxy. When it dries, it gives it a nice look like water, and it holds it up very well. So I'm only putting it so that it fills up about a ½ inch. I don't want a lot in there. I just want it to look like there's a little bit of water. And then after I pour my epoxy mix into my container, put my flowers in there, make sure I feel good about them. My edge of my floral tape was coming undone, so I just pulled it out, fixed that, and now I'm good with it. And also, as you can see, anytime I work with epoxy, I do wear my protective equipment. So I wear a mask and nitrile gloves. Always protect yourself if you're using chemicals. So here's the finished product. I took this from something that I saw at Crate and Barrel. It was $57. I really liked it, but felt like I could recreate it myself. Okay, so for our final project, this one is super easy, but I love it. Now, I like to use hand sanitizer. Anytime I'm doing my makeup, I like my hands to be very clean. So my container that I'm using, it's glass. I got it from TJ Maxx for $10. You can find these in plastic at the Dollar Tree. You can find these at Walmart, Walgreens, all over the place. You can use whatever container you want. You just want it to be clear. And then what I did was I took the small stones out of this bag from the Dollar Tree, these nice little dark stones. I love the way they look. You can use any kind of stones in there that you want. I took the small ones, depending on your container, to what size the lip is, to what you can put in there. The glass beads from Dollar Tree would also look really nice. And then I put a little floral stem, and I used the clear gel hand sanitizer, and then I topped it off with this blue colored. I was actually looking for pink, couldn't find it, so I used the blue, but I knew because it was an alcohol gel that the blue would sit on top, and I thought this would be super cute. Don't mind the mess I made. I put alcohol everywhere. Didn't really care because I felt like, well, it will be good. Whatever's left over all over the place, I'll use to clean my mat. My mat could use a good cleaning. So it's as simple as that. Put the gel hand sanitizer in, first the clear, then the colored, like I said. Put the top back on, and look how cute this is. Super adorable. You could also do this with soap. All right, well, listen, I hope you enjoyed these DIYs. I hope they gave you some inspiration, and I hope you have a blessed and beautiful rest of the day.